Hey Eurovision fans, we have the grand final running order for Eurovision 2024. I'm going to go through all 26 countries and let you know what I think, who the winners, who the losers, and how could it affect who wins the contest. So let's kiki. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tom. I'm an Irish Eurovision analyst, and you can find all of this stuff on my Eurovision channel. So if you follow me on Twitter, you may be aware that there's a lot of commotion and chaos and just general mayhem going on in the press center right now. You probably know more than me because you are watching this in the future. I'm watching this in the present moment. I don't fully know what's going on and what the jury show, which is meant to be happening in around 2 hours, what's going to happen. I'm just going to assume that everything will be great and nothing will be different, which is probably not the reality. That's what the situation is in this current moment in time. These are the 26 countries that will be competing in the final. I'm just going to go through and give you my thoughts on each one and their placing and how that could affect the result. First up, we have Sweden. They had to draw their ball before the competition and they drew number 1 slot. Really great opener. I think this looks really cool. High production. It's a good way to start. Maybe not like as happy as you probably like to start the show, but yeah, it looks expensive. I think it's a good way to start. We have a new rule this year where you can start voting from the first song. So could that help them a little bit in the fact that they're so early in the running order? I also think that this song will do really well with kids. When I went to Melodifestivalen, there were a lot of kids in the audience who had posters, who loved this. They screamed every time it came on. So I'm hoping that actually the young audience will get their parents, get them to vote for Sweden a lot of times at the start, and Sweden won't do too bad with the televote. I think it'll do very well with the jury because it's very well performed. Marcus and Martinez are exceptionally professional. It looks great, really high production. One of the best high production performances this year. I think this is really entertaining. I think this is probably going to come mid-table. Next up we have Ukraine. This is a little bit surprising for some people because they are one of the favorites and they've been put in the death slot. I can't be sure what the logic is behind this. My theory is potentially they want to put a big televote magnet before another country is coming later to maybe draw some of the votes away. I think the EBU right now is in full panic mode, and I think that they are trying to put some countries with massive televote appeal early to maybe draw away from other countries' televote. This is still an absolutely stunningly gorgeous song. I think it'll do well from anywhere. It's kind of sad that it takes Ukraine out of the potential to win because I think this staging is absolutely gorgeously stunning. I love Jerry Hall and Alyona. Beautiful people. So yeah, I still hope that this does well, but I think it's out of potential to win. Third up, we have Germany. It's Isaac singing Always on the Run. A little bit sad that they put this so early. I don't really get why they've done that, because I actually think that this had a really decent chance to do okay and come maybe 20th or higher, kind of outside of the bottom 5. So I don't know why they've this year decided to just absolutely bury it at the start. I think he got first half. Yeah, he got a first half draw, but I would have thought they just put it a little bit later just to, maybe swap it with Estonia or something, just to give Germany a chance to actually get some points and not come last. Whereas now I'm kind of thinking, okay, are Germany potentially going to be bottom 5 again? Who knows? I think the jury might actually really like this. He sings it very well. It looks pretty slick on stage. It looks like a pretty well done show. I actually think this is very solid from Germany in the end. There are other songs I liked in the national final more, but the final package they come up with, I think actually looks really good. I think Germans will be pretty happy with what's on stage. So yeah, I'm a little bit sad that this is so early. Next up, we have Tali from Luxembourg singing Fighter. Yeah, again, also very early. I have a feeling that this came kind of 9th or 10th in the semi-final. I think now this is be one of the contenders to come last this year. I think in the bookies, they also have Germany and maybe a couple others. But yeah, I would imagine this will probably be near the bottom. I just think in a semi-final, it kind of, held its own. In the grand final, I just think it's too dated. It's just not really up to the standard of some of the other people there. Great if Luxembourg can get a couple of points, but I'm expecting this to maybe be bottom 5. Next up, we have Smthngnw from the Netherlands singing Europapa. The chaos and mayhem I was talking about at the start of the video is about him. There appears to have been an incident. I'm not going to go into the details because there are no exact details right now, and I don't want to give you false information. Also, you're in the future, so you know more than I do, so you can just look it up yourself what's happening. But at this point in time, 2 hours before the jury show, we don't know what's happening with Smthngnw. I really hope that everything is okay and that things can be sorted out. I don't know what's happened. But yeah, this is my favorite song this year. It's his dream to be at Eurovision. I really hope that, I'm gonna get said. I really hope that they can sort out whatever's happening. Hey, sorry, there was just a press conference going on where they announced Madrid as the host city for Junior Eurovision. I had to wait until it was over because she was talking so loud. Okay, so yeah, Smthngnw there, I think that they put him so early because he was producer's choice. He didn't draw first half. I think they put him there with Ukraine to try and mop up some televotes at the start of the show. Okay, 6th up we have Israel. 7th up we have Lithuania. It's Sylvester Belt singing Luktelk. So again, this is the song that I think could do well potentially with the televote. I love this. This is one of my big growers this year. Really cool song. I love how vibrant and exciting the staging is. I love the dancing with the leg kicks going all over the place. This is fantastic, and I really hope that Sylvester gets some sort of boost from this, kind of starts off his career. Love that it's in Lithuanian. This is really one of my favorite Lithuanian entries I think ever. Is it my favorite Lithuanian entry ever? I think it might be. It's moving up my rankings right now. I love when this comes on in the Euro Club, so I'm so excited for this. It looks super slick. Usually I don't like faces on LEDs, but with him it looks really super cool. He's been fantastic throughout the season, great representative for Lithuania. I think he'll kind of stand out in this first line. He's got a little bit of an overlap with Sweden in terms of this like cool, slick looking production, but I think that he's far away and he's kind of dancier. Obviously Europop is dancey as well, but it's more kind of like a bit of a humor element, whereas this is more like calm, cool, slick and coordinated. Okay, next up we have Spain. It's Nebulosa singing Thora, and we've just found out that they are hosting Junior Eurovision in Madrid. It's been announced in La Calle Mágica, which is where the tennis tournament is. They had a really good run through today in the dress rehearsal, which I watched in the arena. I'm going to be watching the jury show later on. Their two rehearsals on the previous day, I think Wednesday and Thursday, had big errors. The first one of the dancers couldn't take his pants off. The other one, Maria, was really out of time for 10-15 seconds. It was very noticeably jarring. I think if something like that happens in the final, really Spain might end up coming last. So great to see that Nebulosa had a run through today. That was really perfect. Everything went well. Not perfect, but everything went as planned. She sang well. The dancers were in the right spot. It just flowed and looked like it's meant to look. The more performances like that they get under their belt, the better. Hopefully things go well in the jury show for Nebulosa again tonight as well. Ninth up, we have 5 Minutes and Pull-Up singing the Drug song. A little bit of a gap between them and Joost. Obviously there's a little bit of a fun overlap here. They've been put pretty early. I can't remember if they were producer's choice or first half, but I really like this. I don't know if it's going to really do much in the final. Oh, sorry, my shoulder's getting a little bit tired. I'm expecting this to, let me just give, you can imagine what the scoreboard looks like for a while. I'm expecting this to kind of do okay, not really make much of an impact, but I think it's a great entry from Estonia. I really love it, and I love having Estonia back in the contest. I have to say, actually, in general, the contest feels good. There's no bit that drags, and I think that is a testament to the fact that there's so many variety of songs this year. We've got all types of music, all types of sounds and feels and tempos and beats per minute, so there's no real repetitive section or anything that feels really slow. Also, this producer's choice I think has worked out pretty well, because it gives them a lot more freedom to move things around so that it doesn't feel clunky, or we have 4 ballads together or 3 girly bops together, whatever. I think there's strong points spread out all throughout it. Obviously we've got 2 really strong songs at the start of the show. I feel like all the favorites are pretty spread out, relatively spread out as well. I'm not saying it's a good running order or a bad running order, but I watched the whole thing and I didn't feel like too much of a moment of drag. Oh, I'm going for a different way to hold the board. Okay, next up we have Ireland. It's Bambi Thug singing Doomsday Blue. Now myself and Eurovision got a little bit excited about this because we think that it's a sign that Bambi did very well in the semi-final, potentially coming first or second. We'll have to wait until the results are revealed after the show. But yeah, they got a first half running order slot and they've been given 10th. Which is a pretty good sign. Now, it doesn't guarantee that they did well in the semi-finals, but it is a pretty good indicator. I think the producers are aware that this is a big draw. It's exciting. The show just looks incredible. Every time I watch this, I'm just in pure admiration of the camera cuts, the fact that there's a story going on all the time. I love that diagonal angle where Bambi's lighting up the candles. It's just magical. And the exorcism at the end is fantastic. This is the best staging that Ireland has ever sent by miles. It's just so wonderful, so entertaining. The artistry, the imagery, the excitement, the adrenaline, fantastic. So proud of Bambi. Some people are talking about, can this win? That's not what's important for me. I just want Bambi to get, I would love left side of the scoreboard. Top 10 would be amazing, top 5, wow. If you'd said to me at the start of the season, Tom, Ireland can qualify, I would have absolutely grabbed that out of your hand with pure giddy excitement. If you're saying to me now, maybe we can be top 15, my mind is blown. Keep in mind, we haven't been top 10 since Jedward in 2011 when they came 8th. So, I'm not greedy when it comes to results in regards to Ireland. So I'm so excited for this to just do anything remotely good is obviously, and I would really hope that people aren't disappointed if this comes 8th or 7th, for example. You got to keep perspective in your mind that at the start of the season, you definitely would have gobbled up a 7th place finish for Ireland if it was offered to you. Context and frame to keep in mind. So excited for this. Really happy with Bambi. I think they've been really excellent, super professional, bringing their creativity. I'm so proud of this entry and really excited for what could happen next year as well, because I think that this will start the ball rolling on more exciting things to come. 11th up, we have Dance for Latvia, which I said was a definite no. Very, very happy to be wrong. I don't want to be right all the time. I'm more than, and if I'm going to be wrong, I wanted to be wrong about something like this. Latvia breaking their 6 non-qualification streak. I have to admit, I'm a big fan of Don's as well. Every time he speaks, he's got a real slow, calm demeanor to him. I'm a big fan of him. He seems super chill. And so I'm really rooting for this now. I love that it's got this massive underdog thing. At the end of the day, he had a fantastic male ballad in semi-final 2 and he just stood out. I really felt like he overshadowed Musty. His performance just seemed a little bit more real. His vocals are just stronger, let's be real. Really strong vocals. I think there's generations who will really enjoy this. It's got a bit of a timeless feel to it. I think it might be written by an Irish guy as well. So anyway, they've been given a pretty decent slot in number 11. I think there's a really fabulous contrast here. Actually, this is really like extreme contrast. Future pop into 80s glory, into a humor ethnic Estonian song, into Bambi Thug Exorcism, into about like the variety, and then into Greece. The variety here is just incredible. This is what this year is for me, is this incredible variety of songs and sounds from all corners of Europe. It's really fabulous. But yes, I think Don's really pops. Anyone who finds Bambi just too much, too eclectic, too weird, too wonderful, they're gonna have this very kind of like calm, more standard ballad. I think they're just gonna really love that contrast. Okay, next up, we have Greece. It's Marina Sadi singing Zari. Now, she's a bit of, anyone who thinks that this is too boring is gonna love Greece instead. I really like how it's almost like you have something, and if you don't like that, well, you might like the next one, and if you don't like that, well, you'll probably definitely like the next one. It's just the variety going between the two of them. It's this mix up in genres, which is so jarring but interesting and very, very exciting. So yeah, Zari going through. I'm a big fan of this, but I think it's quite divisive. Some people just don't like it at all, and some people will enjoy it. I like the risk in it. It looks different to me, the way the staging is done, walking around. I really think this is utterly charming from Greece, and similar to Ireland and Lithuania, it makes me excited for next year. What are they going to bring? I feel like there's going to be huge inspiration here for other artists in the country, that they're like, okay, something a little bit more weird and wonderful can come out of our music scene, and maybe these people will apply. Okay, last up in the first half, we have Ali Alexander singing Dizzy for the UK. So he drew first half, but the producers put him out as late as possible. So I think there's a real acknowledgement here of giving a big established artist, we're going to give you a little bit of a leg up. They're also conscious of the fact that the UK has 60+ million people, and that's a lot of advertising revenue, a lot of potential viewers. I don't mind it. I think you do need to have a little bit of marketing savvy. At the end of the day, they need to make ends meet. Putting one of your big shots towards the end, yeah, look, it happens every year. The big five are always kind of after song 6 or 7. Well, actually, that's where Germany is so weird, that they're so early. We very rarely get the big five so early lately. I love the staging. This is genuinely one of my favorite stagings ever. It's easily in my top 5 staging. I think it is so freaking clever. The way that the dancers are holding themselves upside down. So it's very fun to watch in the arena, because you can see the dancers kind of doing these very difficult upside down planks, and then they're like moving. The coordination and when they move as well is incredible. The timing and everything, and just the concept, it's so fun, it's so clever, and such a great way to do a dizzy concept without just spinning around, which could just be quite nauseous. There's nothing nauseous about this. It's just total fancy. Some people don't like this because they think it looks like Mr. Horn, first name Gabe, but I don't care. I think it's wonderful. I love the theming. I love how dirty and grungy it is, and it's like cool editorial dirty. Fantastic. I really hope this does well. I'll be devastated if this is bottom 5. I think Ollie has been fantastic. The work, the creativity, the effort that's gone into this. I think his vocals sound fine. For some reason, when he's lying on the ground and he stands up, he's always breathy for some reason. I don't know why, because he's just been lying down and he's done the spoken word. I'm not sure if it's intentional, but yeah, that's one bit that I think makes him sound vocally a little bit weaker than he actually is, because the jury notes all sound fantastic. We'll see how the jury show is tonight. Okay, quick interval act to tell you about something really super fun and exciting, and that is Eurovision Votes Party. So this is a fan-made app where you can make a Eurovision party with your friends, and you can all vote on all the songs you can put in your top 10, and then you can add all the scores together to get like a kind of ranking within your friend group. You can also put little notes on all the songs as well. So I love this is a bop, I hate her dress. So you can kind of see what other people are thinking, and then it shows all the scores. I think this is a really, really fun and cool idea. It's a way to kind of like connect as you got your Eurovision party going on. Really excited about this, and thank you to Dan for sponsoring this video. Go check out eurovisionvote.party and use it at your party on Saturday. Next up in number 14, we have Gote singing Ulfham. Again, from Zari into this, into Ulvaham. Like, how much variety do you want? Beautiful show. Really rooting for them. I don't think that this is going to have any like big impact. I'm expecting it to be mid-table, but definitely potential for Norway to creep into the top 10 again, which they live in the top 10. I think they've had 7 or 8 top 10s in the last 10 years. So Norway really strong at Eurovision. Yeah, because Tix didn't get top 10 and neither did Icebreaker, but I think most of the other times they've been top 10. A little bit in the middle. I don't know if they're going to get a little bit squashed between UK and Italy, but it's very different. In terms of rock, we've got them, and then we've got Croatia later. So actually, in terms of rock vibe, yeah, obviously Croatia's going to be a big televote appeal. Okay, in the 15th slot, we have Angelina Mango for Italy. I actually saw her outside the press center. I went to get some food. I said hello to her very softly, and she's startled. Everybody's really on edge now, and then she just did a rendition of John Lennon's Imagine. I actually saw her like a couple of minutes before she came in and did that, so maybe she was a little bit nervous about doing that performance. Yeah, I think this final show looks good. They keep switching between two different costumes. One of them is like this thorn tattoo, like kind of slightly nude outfit, and the second one is like this black sequin, more like ice skater. It's not an ice skater, that's a bit harsh, but it's like a black sparkly dress, and the dancers are in the black sparkly dress as well. I'm not sure which one they're going to use. The thorn one looks cooler, but it's harder to see her against the backdrop, whereas the black one, it's easier to spot her, but it doesn't look as like expensive an editorial. It just kind of looks like nice black sparkly dress as opposed to something wow. I love that the dancers are representing some plus size dancers as well. That's really super cool. Overall, I think this is really entertaining, but I don't consider this a contender to win anymore. It's just not got that wow factor. It's good staging, great song. She performs really well. I love her a cappella part with a cameraman swooping around her. But it's just not got that same wow that, for example, Croatia and Switzerland have. It doesn't have that je ne sais quoi X factor. I don't think that this can make it through, but I think it's a fabulous entry from Italy, and I definitely want her to get top 10 and represent Italian women. The first woman to get a top 10 for Italy since Nina Zilli. Speaking of amazing females, we have in number 16, we have Teodor representing Serbia with Ramonda. I was extremely lucky to meet her in the Euro Club, and she was so sweet, and she smelled really good. She had a couple of drinks. I think that she was happy. She was called first, which was a big relief for her, but she was definitely relaxing in the Euro Club. I went up, asked her a photo. She was so sweet. Sorry, that's not really relevant to this, but beautiful song. I love the Ramonda flower coming up at the end. I think she sings this so beautifully. She's very restrained in some parts. It's not a big belting thing. She does belt some notes, but there's also these beautiful soft moments, really vulnerable and intimate. I think this is an absolutely fabulous entry from Serbia. Their ability to switch up variety and genres every single year is so fantastic. 6 qualifications in a row, all with very different songs. Wonderful. They're not using a recipe. They've got different music scenes they're tapping into every single year. Really beautiful. And then we have a very stark contrast with Windows 95 man from Finland, who has been put in the middle between two extremely heartfelt, emotional ballads, which is going to make both of these pop. It's also going to make him pop as well because he's got such a strong contrast. This is the main humor song. This is going to do really well with the televote. Not really well. I think it'll be top 10 with the televote, maybe a 7th, 8th or something. And then it's going to absolutely destroyed by the juries. They're going to give this, I think it'll be last or second last with the juries. That's fine. You don't have to win everything. I think Finland did fantastic last year. They wanted to send something they really enjoyed again this year. Similar to Spain. Spain are sending something that they love. You don't have to always go by a result. And I think coming pretty decent in the televote will be fun as well. He gets some big points. He'll jump up. I really enjoy this. It's very divisive. Some people hate it. I think it's very joyful. It always makes me laugh. I think it's very well put together. And I think he's going to pop between the two gorgeous ladies singing ballads. Okay, in number 18, we have Ireland singing Greedo. Stunning, absolutely stunning performance. Similar actually to Finland and Serbia, just doing their own thing. Portugal always have their own identity and they stick to it. They never compromise. It's working. Like, that's not the thing. It's not like they're being crazy. Because, Georgia do have a reputation for being quite crazy and unique, but then it doesn't really work. Portugal are crazy and out there, do their own Portuguese thing, but it's also very successful recently. This is their 4th qualification in a row to the final. And yeah, I think juries are going to really reward this. Their big hurdle was getting past the semi-final, which they were really helped by being 17th in the running order. But now they've got the juries on the side. Juries are going to love this. This is so beautiful for juries. The creativity, the interpretive dance element, the vocals, really fantastic. This should get rewarded by them. You might even see them in the top 5 of the jury, top 10. Definitely a possibility. Okay, in the 19th slot we have Lada Niva singing Jacko. Another super fun song. I keep forgetting about the fun songs. The fun songs are all here in an L shape. L for lovely, I don't know. But this is a really, really wonderful entry. I love how different the vibe of the staging is, where it's just kind of like a party on a pyramid with these crazy visuals in the background. Really, really different vibe. I think this will be a fabulous pick-me-up, particularly after Portugal and Serbia, which are a little bit more serious. We kind of are going serious, fun, and then we got more fun, and then we got more fun. There's lots of fun going on. But yeah, I always talk about how it's great. A good running order will make countries pop, because the countries on either side are so different that they'll really just kind of have their moment. And I feel like that's one of the things that you kind of can't argue about with the running order, is that if you look at each country and the two countries on either side of it, there's not many kind of matchy pairs here. Okay, in 20th spot we have Celia Capsa singing Lyre. Fantastic from her that she was able to qualify to the final. Really, really great from the first in the running order. She's rehearsed the crap out of this. Really, she's got to get a lot of credit for this. This looks so good on stage every time it's done. She's working really hard. Her vocals sound great. Really, really impressed with the maturity. And this is just hours and hours of rehearsing. You can just see it when you see the show. Nothing really groundbreaking here, but at the end of the day, this is kind of Cyprus's go-to, is these kind of like fun, slick-looking girly bops. And they're doing it again, and it's working for them. They've qualified 8 of the last 9 years to the final. So, you know, why fix it if it's not broken? Coming kind of late. Maybe she can get a little bit of love from Australia and a little bit of love from Greece and who knows who else. But yeah, I'm expecting this to kind of be lower down in the final table. 21st place, we have Nemo singing the code for Switzerland. Definitely one of the contenders to win this year. I think this will probably be one of the jury winners with France. I'm feeling like it's between Switzerland and France right now. Yeah, this is just gorgeous. You've seen it now, so I don't have to like tease you anymore. These tableaus on the disc are absolutely divine. I think that when I was like trying to take photos of it, there were so many things I wanted to take pictures of, because there's so many magical wow moments where they're standing on the edge and the lighting, and just it's really, really wonderful. This is difficult to perform as well. They are running around singing while also jumping and balancing. The key thing here is the balance while this disc is moving up and down, and they're jumping in the air and rolling around and all that kind of stuff. So really, really impressive performance for them. I don't know why, but I really have it in my gut that this is going to come second. I don't know why. I've always just had that now for a reason. I know it's second in the odds, but being second in the odds doesn't necessarily mean, because those are the odds to win, not to come second or third or fourth or fifth, or maybe third, because you know John Steers came third as well. Maybe it might also win the jury, but then not do as well in the televote, similar to John Steers. But still, fabulous from Switzerland. Absolutely magical entry. I love the storyline. I love Nemo. I love what Switzerland have been doing in the last 5 years, where I look forward to them every single time that they release their song, because I know it's going to be really good quality, well put together, beautiful concept, just fantastic. This is Fredrik Rudman, who did Karya staging from last year. In 22nd place, we have Slovenia. It is Raven singing Veronica. Another good placing for Slovenia. They were 24th last year, 22nd this year. Definitely getting a little bit of nice deals from the EBU recently. Great to see this in. I love the artistry. I love the dancing. This is one of my favorite choreographies this year, because it's so earthy and animalistic. If you freeze the image, it looks like you're looking at a painting. Raven's magical, giving us this beautiful choreography where she's pulling at her own skin. It's just wonderful. And it's very far away from Ireland, where Ireland is portraying a witch. Raven is talking about a witch. She's not being a witch, she's talking about it. But there is a little bit of kind of like animalistic, grungy feel in both of them. And I like that they're spaced out, because it lets both of them really, really shine. I do feel like Ireland's a lot darker, and Slovenia's maybe portraying a more like kind of bright white witch. Yeah, I think this is really beautiful. I'm so happy it made the final. This was the one I got wrong in my semi-final 1 predictions. And again, I'm so happy when I'm wrong. These are the 2 times I've been wrong, and I've been the most happy about it. Actually, the only reason I didn't put this through my semi-final 1 predictions is that I did my top 10. I was like, this is too nice. These are the 10 I love. So I had to take one of them out. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take out Slovenia. Because I felt like every year there's one heartbreak in the qualifiers, and I didn't have enough heartbreak, so I took her out. In 23rd place, we have Baby Lasagna. Now, for me, this is very much the producers wanting to put the 2 main people who can take the title near the end. They're giving them a chance to just duel it out. Croatia versus Switzerland. These are the 2 best entries in my opinion. Croatia's my number 3, Switzerland's my number 2. But I think that these are the 2 that overall, the complete package, they have everything. And really, these should be the top 2 in Eurovision 2024. I like that they've given them both great running orders. Slovenia kind of squashed in between them, which isn't fantastic. I think there's quite a long break here, if I remember correctly. there's an ad break. But yeah, I like that they're just kind of saying to the two of them, duel it out between you. All the other kind of favorites who are kind of in that second tier, like Yost and Ukraine, they've just kind of put earlier instead. But yes, this has been fabulous every time I've seen it. Baby Lazan is working his ass off. He's just getting better and better. I totally believe the performance. It's super immersive. He never breaks character. He never feels nervous. So it's really, really easy to get absorbed into this performance. I think this should win Eurovision. I think it's got everything. It's got the sound. It's got the visuals. It's got the backstory of him not qualifying for Dora and then getting put in because someone pulled out and then winning the show by a landslide and then having a lot of criticism for how he performed and getting better. It's just got everything. It's just a fairy tale Cinderella story of someone being lifted up and getting better and improving and then winning over the hearts of Europe. Croatia getting their first win under the Croatian flag. Absolutely, sorry, Aljona is there. I would be so proud to have this as my winner this year. I think it's such a wonderful entry. It would be a nice way to end what has been a pretty shitty season. Let's be real for 5 seconds. This season's really sucked. Not for the songs, but for everything that's been going on. And this would just be a small respite from all the drama and messiness that's happened. Really, really rooting for Baby Lazan. Please do vote for him if you've got a couple of extra votes available. Okay, in 24th place we have Georgia. It's Nutsa. I always say it wrong. It's not Nutsa, it's Nutsa. Fantastic that Georgia are in the final for the first time since 2016. We had all 3 of the countries with the worst non-qualification streaks. Georgia with 6, Latvia with 6, Ireland with 4. All 3 of them got through in 1 year. We couldn't have dreamt of it. If you'd said that to me at the start of the season, I would have said you're crazy. Maybe 1, hopefully 2. To get all 3, so happy. And she's been given a really great running order. The vocals here are fantastic. I think the jury have to reward how well she sings this, as she's dancing and moving around, and she still sounds wonderful throughout the whole thing. So sorry, I'm fangirling because Aljona and Jerry Hall are beside me. Yeah, I think they're brilliant. Yeah, but anyway, back to Nutsa. So yeah, I hope that she's a great show and that Georgia can get a really decent result. I think that Georgia have ever been top 8. So if they came 8th, I think that would be really, really magical. I think it would need a lot of jury love for her vocals, which is possible. It's a very well put together show, but I'm not expecting it. But I would really, really like if Georgia could get higher up. I think this is such a fabulous story. Okay, in 25th spot we have France is Slima singing Mon Amour. I really like the staging. It's very pretty. There's one part that I'm not mad about, which I talked about on Twitter, where he swipes the camera like this and interacts on the camera, slow pans around. The reason they're doing that is so they can put in his mic stand. It's really, really odd to me. I don't know why they didn't just get him to walk to the front of the stage, go behind him and show everybody with their lights. We all have these wristbands with lights on them. Just do that and show all these twinkling stars and then just turn back and the mic stand would be there. So I don't get it because it really breaks up the performance. It looks like a mistake. He hits it and then it looks like the cameraman's messed up because they're slow panning into the distance in a kind of like dizzy way. So it just doesn't work. It's a shame because I think otherwise this package is winner worthy. It's really, really fabulous and he's a superstar. I was going to go back to my first reaction of Dora when he did the thing standing away from the mic and how I was totally wowed in caps all across Twitter. A lot of other people were as well, and that's going to have a huge impact. I love the staging. His styling is fabulous in this white, the smoke and everything. It looks super minimalist but chic. This is France. I love this new strategy. They're trying to improve the profile of the contest in the country, and I think that's really, really cool and clever, and I want them to do that because of the Big Five, I feel the least interest from France and maybe a little bit the least respect as well. Even in the UK, like, they talk crap about it, but the viewing figures are super high. So, they're kind of talking crap, but they actually love it. I lived in the UK for 7 years, so I know how it's actually like a facade and that British people love Eurovision. I don't feel as much love from France. So I like this strategy trying to build up the contest. Hopefully he does well with the jury and this can do really, really, really well. I feel like also the jury songs being very close to the end as well. A little bit of a battle here. And then finally we have Colleen singing We Will Rave. I was a little bit hard on this during the semi-finals, but I think she does a great job. I think those lifts that she does towards the end of the song are really, really difficult. I actually love her outfit as well. I didn't realize that it glows and like has, she's got like built-in glowing things all over her body. It's super cool because when I watched the dress rehearsal today, at the end I went and stood in the mosh pit at the front and I was looking up and yeah, it just looked great from the front. That's weird. It was just, as in like I could see her costume in detail and it looked really magnificent. I'm not expecting this to have much of an impact. I think last in the running order is a little bit not great because I think people are kind of exhausted by then. So unless it's something super wow, I think a lot of people kind of like check out. They want to go to the toilet, they want to get a drink, they want a little bit of a break. So I think it's harder to hold people's attention. That's my perception, especially if the commentators are like, here's the last song. I think that people are like, okay, this needs to be wow or I'm going to the loo. But I think that she puts on a decent show. I'm expecting this to kind of be on the right side of the scoreboard, maybe in the middle. But who knows? I think this is pretty slick looking performance. Okay, overall, I think it's a great show. Still think that's going to come down between Switzerland and Croatia, which I think are two of the best entries in my opinion this year. Obviously, that's very subjective, but I think it's a wonderful show and I think there's a lot of variety in it. Okay, what did you think about the running order? Do you have any other interpretations or analysis about how the songs have been put together? Are there any streaks that you like or any parts that you think are a little bit weaker? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much to Joan for supporting me on PayPal. If you want to support the channel, I have links to you in the description down below. And of course, thank you to my patrons for patronizing me from all around the world. And also a big shout out to EurovisionVote.party for sponsoring the video as well. But of course, thank you so much just for being here and watching and maybe leaving a like and maybe sharing the video. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another Eurovision analysis video very soon. Goodbye.